Welcome to the Icon Awards 2020, brought to you by Missouri Lawyers Media. And now give a warm virtual welcome to your host, Liz Irwin.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Liz Irwin, publisher with Missouri Lawyers Media. Welcome. We are so pleased and certainly honored to host again this year our Legal Icons Recognition event, celebrating the career work of men and women from across the state. And while relevant health concerns have shifted this program to a virtual format, it does not detract from the celebration of the exceptional work we will highlight today. In fact, we encourage you to help us make this an interactive program. You can do that by joining us on social media at hashtag MLMIcons2020. Post your comments, cheer on your colleagues. And to our honorees, post your photos too. We want to see you holding your award with your friends, your family, whoever inspires you or supports you through your work. We want to socially engage and celebrate today despite our distance limitations. While we aren't sure when we all may safely come together again in a large group, celebrate, and network face-to-face, one thing is clear. Now, more than ever, there is a need to recognize and thank Missouri's legal professionals who continue to lead during this difficulty. These honorees were carefully selected from scores of nominations and represent the epitome of exceptional work through the course of a law career. They've had remarkable impact in the profession and in their communities. They aspire to a higher call, leading the way for others. And while the journey of each honoree is different, the destination, still being written, is the same: extraordinary success. They are paragons in the profession. Today we honor 26 in this class of greats. But before we begin the introductions of our honorees, I want to extend a sincere and warm thank you to our sponsors. Without their support, this event would not be possible. I would like to warmly thank our bronze sponsors first: Brian Cave Layton Paisner, Dalton Maurer and Chittister, Gray Ritter and Graham, Langdon and Emerson, Lashley and Bear, Paul Kamazine and Blumenthal, and Thompson Coburn. And we are so fortunate to have as our presenting sponsor, Dowd Bennett LLP. I'd like to now share a special welcome from the firm.
Good afternoon. This is Jim Bennett of Dowd Bennett, and we're very pleased and proud to be the presenting sponsor for Missouri Lawyers Media Icon Award. Especially, we are proud because our own Ed Dowd is receiving the award this year. He's a mentor, a friend, colleague, and a partner to us, and we wouldn't exist without him. And I was amazed when I saw the other 25 award winners this year. It's difficult to imagine a better group of people who meet the standard of people who have achieved the height of our profession. When I look at the list, I see people who I asked for jobs in law school, who have mentored me, who I would travel to courthouses to watch and try to pick up some little bit of their talent or technique, and other people who I know have made a huge impact on their clients and their colleagues and their families' lives. There's only two things as presenting sponsor we wish we could improve. The first would be we would love to be in person, because with this group and all the people whose lives you've touched, it would be quite a party and quite an event. But we're going to do the best we can here on the virtual age. And then secondly, we would all love it if our friend and colleague Larry Hale could be here to accept his own award today, and we miss him dearly, and I'm looking forward to seeing something about his great life. So with that being said, let's get to the awards. And again, we are very happy to be the presenting sponsor this year. Thank you.
As I said earlier, this is a celebration of career achievement. These attorneys are representative of the incredible outcome that can be achieved through commitment, perseverance, and vision. They are icons. Firms bear their names and communities embrace their benevolence. In publicly recognizing these honors today, we will share a moment of their careers and success in their own words through videos. Certainly their resumes and accomplishments are significant and lengthy. It's the way icons are. But instead of listing their resumes, these videos, we believe, will impart to you a piece of their success they hold dear or something they believe define them. And at the end of all of the introductions, we will conclude our program with a series of photos. There are photos sent to us from the honorees when we ask them to share personal and professional moments important to each. And with that, let's meet our first group of honorees.
After earning his engineering degree from Vanderbilt University, Anthony Baer's thirst for knowledge led him to St. Louis University School of Law, where he received his Juris Doctorate in 1980. While there, he met attorney George Fitzsimmons, a decisive moment in his career.
And he then sponsored, I would say, and mentored me. He helped me get my first job. Then he actually hired me later, and I stayed with him for about 10 years. And what he did for me was incredible.
Anthony served a 6-year elected term as a member of the 21st Circuit Judicial Commission for the selection of judges.
15 different judges were appointed to the bench, and I feel very strongly that I helped to bring not only good judges, but also diversity to the St. Louis County bench, and that makes me very proud.
Having tried more than 75 cases to verdict, Anthony is known as a trial attorney with Baer, McCarter, and Porter. Surprisingly, his most memorable case didn't involve a trial, helping an alcoholic and drug addict recover his business.
The most rewarding case I've ever had, mostly because he was such a good guy and so appreciative, as was his whole family. But I mean, not only did we get a good result, but he's been clean and living a really good life ever since.
I received the Pally Award, which is an award given by the National Academy of Elder Law Attorneys to an attorney that has, through their work in the community, advocated for the elderly and people with special needs. And I received that in 2008.
Martha C. Brown has been practicing in the field of elder law for over 25 years and is certified by the National Elder Law Foundation. By 1994, Martha had her own elder law practice, although at the time, she didn't realize what it was.
I started doing issues that came about, and I got involved in a lot of Medicare and Medicare. And then I learned that there was this area of law called elder law, and that those were the elements of that practice, which is what I was doing.
Since then, Martha has expanded her practice to include estate planning, long-term care planning, Medicaid planning, Medicare, incapacitation issues, and end-of-life decision-making, all of which are encompassed in elder law.
It's a very rewarding area of law. I enjoy the personal interaction with my clients. I enjoy working with family members that are trying to help family members that are facing difficult times, and I enjoy every minute of it. I'm very honored to receive the award. I was very surprised. I don't know who nominated me. It was a complete surprise, and I'm very honored to be included with some of the great legal giants in Missouri.
After earning her law degree from St. Louis University School of Law, Gloria Clark Reno worked as a law clerk before becoming an assistant public defender in St. Louis.
I got a chance to try cases from something as simple as basically, you're an assault third degree all the way up to murder first. Having that experience of being able to learn how to try a case as an assistant public defender, I thought was a turning point, because it kind of launched me to eventually, I think, being able to become a judge.
On October 10, 2018, Gloria Clark Reno was unanimously elected to serve as judge of the St. Louis County Circuit Court, the first African American to do so since it was established in 1815.
I am most proud of that because it shows that your colleagues respected you, that they had confidence in you, that they thought that, that you could preside over the entire circuit. As an officer of the court, you have a duty and a responsibility, an ethical responsibility to be honest before the court. So be a person of your word. That's the best advice that I would give. Work hard.
what I think was the foundation of whatever limited success I had. Find a place where you can, in a short period of time, get into a courtroom and actually do it.
Having won hundreds of millions of dollars for his clients, as well as orchestrating major company and legislative policy changes, Tim Dollar is widely regarded as one of the top trial lawyers in America. He's tried more than 286 jury trials, including those conducted while serving as a special homicide prosecutor for Jackson County, Missouri.
Scores and scores and scores of jury trials in a very short period of time. And the old adage is there's nothing like doing it yourself. And so I was very fortunate to get that chance. And I think that set the stage for some of the work that I've been fortunate enough to do since then.
Jackson County has continued to work with Tim over the past 30 years on important homicide cases, most notably the Precious Doe case, which was depicted on America's Most Wanted, and the book, Through the Rain, a true crime memoir of murder and survival.
I think to date that may be my most memorable case, and one that I'm incredibly proud of, because not because of my efforts, but just because I got to work with so many wonderful, dedicated people who just never, ever, ever gave up on that child and getting justice for Erica Green.
Founded in 2006, Dowd Bennett defends corporations, professional service RMS, and individuals in complex civil and white-collar criminal cases. Partner Edward L. Dowd Jr. most prides himself on the diversity of his team and his appointment to U.S. Attorney by President Bill Clinton.
And we worked with a huge team of federal law enforcement, state and local police, probation officers, everyone involved in criminal justice, and reduced the murder rate in St. Louis from 276 murders the year I came in to 113 when I left.
Edward set policy and supervised staff in handling thousands of cases for the U.S. government. But he is most widely known for serving as special counsel in the investigation of events surrounding the Branch Davidians in Waco, Texas.
We were being looked at by the courts, by the media, by Congress, the citizens of the United States, and we did that for 14 months, and I think that our conclusions were really accepted by virtually everyone in the country.
Edward Dowd Jr. has been recognized for his work by industry publications, lawyers, judges, and legal scholars throughout his career, but he credits his hard work and that of his team with his accomplishments.
Really important. And being with the right people in your practice, once you get to the right place, make sure you give your clients everything you've got.
Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. And I'm a big believer in that in the practice of law.
In 1993, Don M. Downing was appointed Chief Deputy Attorney General. During his tenure, he hired, trained, and supervised more than 170 assistant attorneys general. He was also lead lawyer in cases involving consumer protection, environmental, and securities law.
Becoming the Chief Deputy Attorney General opened my eyes to a broad array of practice areas that I'd never experienced before. I got to go to the U.S. Supreme Court 4 times, got to argue one case in the U.S. Supreme Court, and got to try many cases in different areas of the law.
Don made a second major career change in 2004 when he went to a small plaintiff's firm.
I enjoyed the defense practice when I was at Stinson, but the years that I've spent at Gray, Ritter & Graham representing, in essence, the little guy against major corporations has been very fulfilling for me.
Don has also represented farmers against big biotech companies in numerous cases involving several bellwether trials.
The Syngenta case involving U.S. corn farmers. We ended up trying a case in the District of Kansas and obtaining a verdict for $217.7 million for farmers in Kansas. And that later allowed us to settle nationwide for all U.S. corn farmers for $1.51 billion.
Congratulations, Tony. You are truly an icon. I'm proud to be your friend and proud to be your partner.
Congratulations on winning the Icon Award. It is well deserved and it is quite an honor. And it is me who has been honored to be your partner for so many years. You've been a great partner, more importantly, a great friend.
Congratulations, Tony!
Congratulations, Tony.
Congratulations, Tony.
Congratulations, Tony.
Congratulations, Tone.
Congratulations on your Lifetime Achievement Award.
Congratulations, Tone. I love you and I'm so proud of you.
Congratulations, Dad.
Congratulations, Dad. Congratulations, Dad.
Congrats, Dad.
Congratulations, Dad.
Congratulations, Dad.
Congratulations to each of these icons. And now Cindy Lash, our editor, will introduce our next group.
Thank you, Liz. As a special note to our audience, of course, with such a busy group of professionals, some of our honorees were not available for our video shoots. You can learn about all of our honorees and their professional accomplishments in a special awards publication featured in Monday's issue of Missouri Lawyers Weekly. It also appears on our website at molawyersmedia.com. And as a reminder, as Liz said earlier, each of you has a very important role in today's live stream virtual event. This is an interactive event. So as you post to Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram using hashtag MLMIcons2020, many of your comments and some of your photos are appearing live during our program. This is how you can interact with the other guests and virtually applaud for the honorees. With that explanation, we'll move to our next group of honorees.
My spare time is devoted to family, my wife of almost 44 years, Robin, and our 3 children and their families, 8 grandchildren. So that's what the spare time is.
A fellow in the International Academy of Trial Lawyers and a frequent lecturer to bar associations and trial lawyer groups nationwide, Ken Emerson has devoted his practice to representing families in cases involving product liability, personal injury, and wrongful death for over 30 years.
You know, there's been a lot of things that have been very rewarding, but in general, I remember those cases the most where we've been able to help a child who's in need.
One of the first cases for Kent and partner Bob Langdon also turned out to be their most memorable, 1993's Baker versus General Motors Corporation, a trial that would last several weeks.
We won in a unanimous opinion in the U.S. Supreme Court. We were able to work with great lawyers like Lawrence Tribe, who argued the case in the Supreme Court, but that one's pretty easy. The Baker case is one that we'll remember for a long time. That's the advice. Follow your heart. Do what you really want to do, what you like doing, and really try to help your clients, and that's the true reward.
Mary Ann Hatch is a lifelong resident of St. Clair County, Illinois, where she began her career as a public defender.
And did some, death penalty cases, a lot of felony cases, gave me a lot of trial experience, which the young attorneys don't have the benefit of getting these days.
Anne went on to become a conflicts attorney in St. Clair County before working at Church McDonald, which became Church McDonald and Hatch over her 12-year tenure.
When I first started out in the civil practice of law, I told my senior partner at the time, I want to try a case. And he was like, almost dumbfounded. You want to try a case? I said, well, yeah, that's what I'm here for. I'm here for litigation. And I did try the case to a successful result. So you need to have some communication with those you work with to let them know that you're ready and you're eager and it's something you want to do.
Anne Hatch joined Sandberg Phoenix in 2018 as a shareholder, concentrating her practice in civil litigation defense. She has tried more than 70 jury trials as first chair in Illinois and Missouri, as well as being on the American Board of Trial Advocates.
Any client you have, whether they're someone charged with murder or, any client, that you really need to work hard to do the best job that you can.
It's a major asset of any business is their trademarks.
After earning a marketing degree from Southeast Missouri State University, Annette Heller went on to graduate from the St. Louis University School of Law with a Juris Doctorate in 1976, all while working full-time for the Ralston Purina Company.
I was an in-house attorney for a major corporation and starting my own practice, specializing or limiting my practice to trademark law. That was probably the turning point in my career because I would never now go back into a corporate practice after over 30 years of being on my own.
Working for herself has become a point of professional pride for Annette.
And successful, very successful, and being able to do it way past what most people consider their retirement age.
While starting a solo practice has changed over time, Annette offers sage advice for anyone wishing to do so.
Join various organizations so that you can network and meet people, because that's the essence of being able to have a good practice, is knowing who to call when you need help, having people confident in your abilities to refer clients to you. But you can't do that unless you get to know people, and networking is the way to do it.
But there's been many memorable moments that I've had, both in and outside of trial, representing folks.
As a trial lawyer, Edward Hirschway has spent more than 30 years representing injured people and their families in even the most complex cases. His philosophy, however, is straightforward.
Hard work, preparation, I think those are the foundations for success,
Mr. Hirschway is proud to have obtained many multi-million-dollar verdicts and settlements for his injured clients and their families.
Financially successful, but there's lots of other successes that you can have. It doesn't all have to boil down to money. I'm a family guy, and I'm trying not to be a workaholic. Sometimes you have to work extra, but if you're going to have a family, my belief is you're going to have kids, and a successful marriage, you got to work at it. And so, and that means I've got to be home.
When the judge called us up and I handed him the petition, and he looked at it and looked at me and said, "Counselor, I can't grant this." And I said, "Well, Your Honor, what's the issue?" He said, "Well, this petition is not notarized." So there I was with the client, and a fairly simple change of name case, which was denied. And that concluded my trial lawyer career right there.
Over his 40 years of extensive legal experience since then, Mark B. Hillis has gone on to become a leader in the legal community. Mark has seen technology make the legal process more efficient over his time, but he also sees the impact this has had on mentorship.
It comes at the expense of mentoring and sort of downloading, if you will, to younger, less experienced lawyers, because it sometimes, too often, you just don't have the opportunity or time.
His comprehensive experience also extends to representing corporations, banks, and businesses, often with complex private equity needs. In one example, Mark was responsible for brokering a three-way merger between 4 different groups of lawyers.
Given the players involved and the different mechanics of the transaction involved, well, it was very satisfying.
Mark, congratulations on the Icon Award. First rate.
Congratulations, Mark. It's been an honor and a privilege to work with you.
Congratulations, Mark.
Congratulations, Mark.
Congratulations, Mark.
Congratulations, Mark.
Congratulations to our leader.
Jerry Hunter began his career working with the National Labor Relations Board in St. Louis while earning his Juris Doctorate at Washington University.
After my second year in law school, that resulted in my, obviously, whole career being in labor and employment law.
In 1989, he was nominated General Counsel of the National Labor Relations Board in Washington, D.C.
Historically, the top labor law position in the country, and I was not only the first, but I've been the first and only African American to be appointed to that position by the President of the United States. Because the training at the NLRB is excellent, and it led me obviously to a number of positions, ultimately here at Bryan Cave.
In 1994, he joined Bryan Cave, representing management in all phases of labor and employment law.
I think each position I took was a building block in my career, and ultimately led to me going to Washington as General Counsel of the NLRB, and then joining Bryan Cave as a partner here at Bryan Cave.
Congratulations on a well-deserved honor.
Congratulations on this award.
Jerry, a heartfelt congratulations. Thank you, Jerry.
Yeah, I think the best advice I would have for anyone crazy enough to follow in my footsteps is to go to med school.
Bennett Keller is a partner at Lathrop GPM and an adjunct professor at Washington University School of Law in the Masters of Taxation program, where he teaches business succession planning.
The most important thing that I've learned in the 1,000 years I've been doing this is you got to listen. You can't wait to talk. You got to listen.
Ben concentrates his practice in estate planning, probate and general business, corporate law, and succession planning. He's authored articles for such publications as the Journal of Taxation and Estate Planning.
Accounting and financial issues are important. So understanding accounting and understanding how money works and how debt works and getting a decent business acumen with a few classes, I think can only help. Way back when I was selected to be one of the best lawyers in America, my parents were sort of at the end of their line. And when I showed my mom that letter and she started crying and said she was so proud of me, and to show my dad that letter, that was a very meaningful thing to me, because whether the award is all that significant, which maybe it is, but it meant a lot to them. And that was I still get goosebumps just thinking about her reaction to that, because to her that was a very meaningful thing.
Larry Darnell Hale became Assistant Attorney General for the Eastern District of Missouri in 1979, the first in an impressive list of credentials in public service.
The first person I called after Jack and Janet Reno brought me in as the Deputy Special Counsel was Larry Hale, because he had such tremendous judgment, experience, and was always cool under pressure.
My dad, I know that he came out of that experience having made a lot of friends, that were friends to the end. And, that was a higher profile case nationally. But I know it was also one that he was very proud of having been a part of.
He didn't have any limitations. He didn't put any limitations on himself. He didn't allow any people to put limitations on him. If he wanted to, do something, he would do it.
In 1988, Larry Hale entered into private practice when he co-established the law firm of Peoples, Hale, and Coleman.
A very successful practice that would help rear a number of young attorneys in the St. Louis area that would give some now prominent attorneys their start, that would allow him to serve as a mentor to a lot of young professionals, while also sort of, practicing the law in the way that he saw fit.
They dealt with Fortune 500 companies, insurance companies, small businesses. He did criminal work. They did patent work. That one was a biggie. When they had that, they were co-counselors for the stadium project, the Dome Stadium project. I think being a part of that, and he was the managing partner in that, was probably one of his biggest achievements.
Seeing other people who he believed in, was a mentor to, taught and helped get to where they are today, and that he just was able to help and be a part of that.
He was especially proud when Lawrence became a lawyer, and I know that was really, really important to Larry.
In spite of his outstanding professional success, Larry never let work get in the way of his role as a mentor, as a father of 3, and a grandfather of 4.
We had a Hale family reunion a couple years ago, and his family, he loves his brothers and sisters, and so his family and nephews and grandkids were all there. And Larry wanted a picture of him and his grandkids, and so there is this wonderful picture of Larry on the floor, and all 4 grandkids are sitting on him. That was the picture that he wanted taken.
Congratulations to each of our honorees, and what a touching moment in honoring the late Larry Hale. Now I'd like to introduce Johnny Aguirre, our advertising director, who will present our next group of honorees.
Thank you, Cindy. It's my privilege to continue today's introductions. But before I do, I want to provide a little insight into our process of selection for this honor. As Liz said, we receive a large number of nominations for our Icon Awards. All nominations are worthy of consideration, so it makes it especially difficult to make our final selections. To do that, we look at the commitment and impact each has had within their firms and organizations on Missouri's legal community and on the communities in which they live. To be nominated is certainly a testament to career success. To be selected for such an elite group shows the incredible positive influence each of our icons continues to have on moving the state's legal community forward. Remember, keep socially interactive with us by posting comments to hashtag MLMIcons2020. The bottom of the screen is full of what is the new norm for virtual cheers, applause, handshakes, high fives, and hugs. Keep them coming. And with that, meet our next group of honorees.
Louis J. Leonati received his law degree from the University of Missouri-Columbia in 1973, and since then has served over 10 years on the Missouri Supreme Court's committee, drafting civil jury instructions.
It's a committee of 9 people, and we have to unanimously agree on every preposition, every comma, every period, and then send it to the Supreme Court for adoption. And we've published 3 books, and very, very, very proud of the work of that committee.
He's also mediated over 50 cases, and over the course of his jury trial experience in federal court, Louis has seen the legal landscape change.
So it's become kind of a winner take all, and we'll do whatever we need to do to win. And that's not good for the profession, and frankly, not good for the client at all. Clients are really, really important, and their trust is really important. If they don't trust you, they're not going to tell you everything you need to know. You need to know the good, you need to know the bad, you need to search them on CaseNet, you need to look at their Facebook page, you need to figure out who they are and what they do.
Theodore MacDonald Jr. has shown great commitment to helping young lawyers in trial practice, not only in his role at Hepler Broom, but across 28 years as an educator at Washington University School of Law.
The last 15 years of which I taught with my good friend Amy Gunn, and we taught pretrial litigation. So our goal was to pass down what we had learned from all the great trial lawyers we had seen and worked with.
He has also been in private practice for over 40 years and has tried numerous jury cases to conclusion in state and federal courts throughout the Midwest.
The firm that we've built at Hepler Broom over the course of my last 35 years is probably the thing I'm most proud of. When I was an assistant United States attorney in the Southern District of Illinois, I spent 2.5 years investigating a bank fraud scheme that had been going on for a long time in Southern Illinois that involved hundreds of loans, thousands of documents, and a team of about 8 to 10 FBI agents. It took us 2.5 years to get convictions. So I think that was one of the most significant. Having met and married my wife, Joyce McDonald, is by far the biggest factor in my career. We were classmates in law school, and she practiced for a number of years with Marty Hadigan in doing litigation and I've done litigation as well. And to have somebody support you who is the smartest person I know, and to raise an amazing family behind me, I couldn't have done what I did without it.
I've always looked up to Ted, but at 6'7", that's hard not to do. I met him over 30 years ago and have practiced law with him for the past 16. As a partner, but more importantly as a friend, I feel lucky to know Ted McDonald.
I was 21 years old. I was at home. I opened up an envelope. My dad was in the room, and it told me that I was admitted to Harvard Law School. Been all downhill ever since.
For more than 40 years, Tom Minogue has helped executives in the pursuit of high-level strategic objectives for their organizations. He is the immediate past chair of Thompson Coburn, where for 20 years he has led the firm through growth and nationwide expansion.
Actually exceeded our financial targets every single year for all of those 20 years. Never laid off a soul in either the Great Recession or the pandemic. We really take care of our people. Very proud of that.
Tom excels at distilling complex information into actionable items and negotiates thoughtfully to achieve win-win results in high-stakes transactions. He also serves as a legal advisor to some of St. Louis region's largest companies and civic and charitable organizations. But his most memorable case came when he had the chance to help his mother claim disability benefits, which she had previously been denied.
And I can tell you that in 40 years as a corporate lawyer, I've closed lots of deals, $1 million deals, $1 billion deals, whatever. There's never been a single professional achievement I've been more proud of than winning that case for my mom.
J. Michael Mauer graduated the University of Missouri at Columbia with a Juris Doctorate in 1976. And soon after finding mentors in his partners Dalton and Chidester, Michael was faced with his most high-profile case, 1979's The State of Missouri versus Connie Flowers.
James Bundy was found with 3 bullet holes in his head with his hands handcuffed behind him in February of '77. Connie Flowers was arrested in May of 1978. Press, she confessed in California and Missouri. My motion to suppress was denied. We had a 3-day jury trial in Stoddard County. She was convicted, 50 years sentenced to life without parole for 50 years. We appealed to the Missouri Supreme Court. It was certainly my most memorable case, and I'd have to say that after that jury experience, there was no jury trial that bothered me much after that.
Michael's experience went on to inform his service in a number of impressive legal positions throughout his career. But despite his success, he has always remained grounded.
Never compromise your integrity. Be willing to work hard. Be civil with all of those that you work with and that work for you, and always remember that you work for the client.
Donald W. Paul graduated from Washington University in 1960 with a Bachelor of Science in Engineering before taking a combined degree program with the School of Engineering, receiving his law degree from Washington University School of Law in 1966.
Went to work for Monsanto in a corporate position, was there for a short time, and realized that I really missed the law that I'd studied in law school, and talked to the dean of the law school, and he gave me some law firms to talk with, and was hired by one in Clayton and been practicing law in Clayton ever since.
Don represents clients in such commercial matters as mergers and acquisitions and real estate development, as well as handling complex family trust, estate, and tax planning matters. Don describes brokering the sale of a St. Louis company after the passing of its owner.
The company was Consolidated Grain and Barge in St. Louis and was sold to 2 Japanese firms, and that involved 2 trips to Tokyo to negotiate with prospective buyers, and then a closing of that transaction here in St. Louis.
Don credits his undergraduate training in engineering with his achievements in the legal field.
What we do is solve problems, and that's exactly what an engineering education deals with. The professional achievement that I'm most proud of is just the formation of Paul Kamzine and Blumenthal in 1994, and the success that our firm has had ever since then.
Don, you and I have been together for almost 40 years, and during that time you have been the best partner and mentor that anyone can ask for. We at PCB want to congratulate you and thank you for your leadership. We certainly understand why you're receiving this Icon Award.
Congratulations to everyone. And now, for our final group of honorees.
When I went to law school, there was a professor by the name of Catherine Rosenberry that taught trial advocacy and appellate advocacy. And when I got involved in those classes, she took me aside and said that I needed to continue down that path, that I have a knack for it. And I listened to her and continued down that path.
After receiving his Juris Doctorate from California Western University in 1983, Scott Rosenblum was admitted to the Missouri Bar, the Illinois Bar, and the United States District Court for the Eastern and Western Districts of Missouri, and has since tried over 400 cases.
You know, back in 1983, 1984, anytime there was any case of note, there was a lot of coverage. And especially if you were trying cases that were newsworthy. And I was fortunate enough early in my career to have some newsworthy cases that had a lot of coverage. And I think that was the turning point.
Scott has 4 children, each of them following their father's path into law.
And also, I mean, I can't tell you how proud I am of all my children. And I'm fortunate that they're an incredible part of my life. And I spend as much free time as I can with each and every one of them.
Hey, Scott. Walter and I wanted to congratulate you on winning the Icon Award. It couldn't have gone to anyone better. You're truly amazing, and we are very proud of you. We love you.
Thomas Sturkey is the current co-chairman and one of the founding members of Baker, Sturkey, Cowden and Rice. An experienced trial lawyer, Thomas Sturkey has successfully defended manufacturers of pharmaceuticals, medical devices, automobiles, heavy equipment, and consumer products, among others.
My defense of a particular pharmaceutical company in a litigation that had 650 cases. 2 of their major products were involved, and I got every one of the cases dismissed with prejudice, and that's probably the achievement I like the most.
Thomas's work in representing pharmaceutical and medical companies earned him a worldwide reputation. But the turning point in his career came with the decision to leave the second largest law firm in Kansas City.
In 1982, as a small trial law firm, we've now grown to be a large trial law firm. But that was the turning point in my career where I was able to do the things I wanted to do with clients, take the clients I wanted to take, and achieve what I wanted to achieve.
For Thomas Sturkey, honesty and professionalism are key.
It used to be you could seal a deal with just a handshake and your word. Now you have to do everything in writing. do the same thing I did when I came along. Work hard, be yourself, and always be honest with the other side and keep your word.
Thomas Strong has practiced in Springfield since graduating with honors from the University of Missouri-Columbia School of Law in 1955, but he really began developing his skills as far back as the 9th grade.
Did well, and then learned that there was something called debate. So it was offered in Springfield, Missouri, a town away. I was able to go to high school then and debate it. Then to college, then to law school, and then to become a trial lawyer.
The most memorable case of Tom Strong's career came when he represented Joe Buster, rendered quadriplegic in a car-truck collision.
The verdict was for $22 million in 1990, which was the largest verdict for personal injury in the state's history at that time. Before, the highest verdict had been $17,000. Of course, $22,000 in today's world is somewhat commonplace. But in 1990, it was the largest personal injury verdict in the state's history, so I'm proud of that.
After founding Strong, Garner, Bauer in 1974, Tom went on to serve in a number of prestigious positions, including president of the Missouri Association of Trial Attorneys and Missouri Board of Law Examiners. But the key to his success is simple.
1, work hard. 2 and 3, work hard.
Really have always had a dream of being a great singer. Even a world-renowned opera singer. Of course, I didn't quite have the talent to achieve that dream.
Opera's loss would become Hush Blackwell's gain as Maurice Watson began his long-standing relationship with the firm, then known as Blackwell Sanders, as a clerk while studying at Harvard Law School.
As the Hush Blackwell law firm has evolved, it has really focused on industry and how we can, as lawyers, deepen our understanding and gain greater insight into specific industry areas. I know for me, that was exceptionally valuable in providing some focus and direction for my career.
Maurice went on to serve as chairman of the firm and now concentrates on advising educational institutions, including public and private schools, universities, and national education associations. In both state and federal courts, he has successfully represented clients in complaints brought by employees and students for discrimination, harassment, and violations of statutory and constitutional rights, a task that has evolved over his career.
Lawyers have had to become much more sophisticated about how the legal practice has evolved with technology and with new expectations of our clients.
Richard D. Waters advises all levels of healthcare clients, from physicians and nurses to entire hospital systems, on matters from general healthcare laws and regulations to business operations to governance and corporate issues. He has considerable experience in obtaining certificates of need for hospitals, nursing homes, and imaging centers. Rick recalls a case in which he negotiated for an order of nuns when their hospital had to close due to financial trouble.
In the negotiations, we negotiated basically healthcare for the nuns for life. We also included financial protection of the nuns so that they'd be financially secure, their entire order. And we also created 2 large foundations that will provide charity health care in the communities other than hospital care.
For the last 29 years, Richard has been consistently recognized by his peers in the field of healthcare law. He attributes his choice to focus on healthcare to his success.
Once I started concentrating on healthcare, my career took off. I have some friends who are in small towns and they're generalists, and I'm in awe of their abilities. But I generally think you need to be really an area expert.
Rick,
You are a gifted lawyer who understands and has practiced the commitment to our profession and to our community. You do us great honor. Well done.
I spent a little over 4 years at the Justice Department in Washington, D.C. I was a very young lawyer at the time and was able to try quite a few cases that I wouldn't have been able to try given my limited experience if I had been in private practice at the time. That gave me a world of confidence, not only then, but throughout my career, that I could achieve some success, and it was a great experience.
One of W. Russell Welch's most enduring successes was back in 1992, when Bill Clinton's eligibility for the presidency was challenged over his past demonstrations against the Vietnam War.
And while you would think you would win that hands down, it was a 2.5-hour hearing in federal court, and things got a little dicey during that time, and I was quite apprehensive. Fortunately, we won, and Bill Clinton went on to be president of the United States. Not because of that, but it was a very memorable experience.
During Russ Welch's over 20-year tenure as chairman and CEO, Polsinelli has become one of the fastest growing law firms in the U.S., from 2 offices with 90 attorneys to 850 attorneys and 22 offices across the United States.
A lot of people achieved success during that period, and I'm really proud of the growth and success of our law firm over that 20-year period. The future will take care of itself if you really achieve success today.
And now I will turn it back over to Liz.
Thank you again to all of our icons. It's a privilege for Missouri Lawyers Media to honor these attorneys. You probably know we host events throughout the year that celebrate the success of Missouri attorneys. Our next program, recognizing those at the beginning of their careers, the up and coming, will be held virtually on October 15th. You can find out more about that program as well as all of our recognition programs on our website at molawyersmedia.com. And as I said at the start of this program, were it not for our sponsors, this event truly would not be possible. Thank you again to our sponsors, our presenting sponsor, Dowd Bennett, LLP, and our bronze sponsors, Brian Cave Leighton Paisner, Dalton Moore and Chittister, Gray, Ritter and Graham, Langdon and Emerson, Lashley Bear, Paul Kamazine and Blumenthal, and Thompson Coburn. We so very much appreciate their support. Again, without our sponsors, this event would not be possible. And I also want to thank all of our guests today who interacted with us through hashtag MLMIcons2020. Keep the comments and the photos posting and trending for the next several days so we can continue the celebration just a little longer. I know we all look forward to the day when we can come together in person, but until then, thank you for prioritizing the celebration of excellence in a format that allows us to be together safely. Visit our website to watch the event again or to learn more about all of today's honorees. Again, none of this would be possible without the support of so many, especially our sponsors. As promised, we're going to close today's event with a series of photographs provided by our honorees. The photos are of their choosing, representing personal and professional moments in time important to each. We thank them for their enormous contributions to Missouri's legal community, and we thank you too for joining us today. We'll see you again next year.